Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Hello, people, and welcome back to the Summer Daily News. And that's what it is, people. It's your boy, Malak Matt, and I am back again, people. Yes, I know I've been away for a little while, but as I'm sure you guys know already, my daughter was born, so I've been having that father time, you know what I'm saying? So, but now I'm back this week. You'll see me all over your screens, all over your mobile phones. I am here to stay, people. But there's only one place to start. And the big breaking news, also I say news coming out of Liverpool so far, is regarding Neco Williams. Now, there's a lot of reports coming out that Neco Williams potentially will be leaving Liverpool. There's a couple of articles that have even said Liverpool potentially have even set their price tag of around £10 million. The Echo, they've come out with, you know, Neco winning first team football is obviously the main reason. And if I'm being honest, I can understand that. From my perspective anyway, I think Neco Williams, since he's been at Liverpool, he's done as well as he could have. But I've always felt personally that we can always have done better. And that's not taking away anything from Neco. I also stated as well, I felt like we should have kept Hove, who went to Wolves. But again, you know what I'm saying? Just a lot of people didn't rate Hove. Some people rated Neco. They're both promising players, but I just felt like for me, Hove had a bit more to his game. And I think he would just suit our style of play a bit better. But again, I'll reiterate that again, Neco Williams does look like he could potentially leave. And if it is a case of first team football, because you got to understand something, Trent Alexander-Arnold, unless he picks up a massive injury, Neco's not really going to play any football. And when Trent did get injured, Neco came in for a bit and had a couple of iffy games. For me, he didn't really take the game by the scruff of the neck or even try and nail down that position for him. And it's always going to be hard when you've got a Trent in front of you. But for me personally, I kind of just felt like it's kind of what I expected. He will be okay. But I feel like the way how we attack and what we need from our wing backs, I don't know if he was ever going to cut it. So, but yeah, we'd have to wait and see, obviously, because Neco is away, obviously, at the Euros with the Wales team. I know they lost, but they still went through to the last 16. To shout out to him and Wales, they are doing very well. As I said, they're through. So, yeah, let's see what happens with their people. Next thing I want to talk about is Sepp van den Berg. Now, Sepp van den Berg, as you know, we bought him, was it the 18-19 season, along with Harvey Elliott and Adrian on that free up-and-coming defender, supposedly. And it hasn't really worked out for Sepp because Sepp obviously hasn't had hardly any first-team football whatsoever. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's made about a handful of appearances, maybe 2 or 3 at that. But obviously, Sepp van den Berg went on loan to Preston last season. And, you know, it was for the best because in return, we got Ben Davies, who is a hologram, didn't play any games, but it was all about Sepp, innit? Sepp needed to, you know, get better. He needed to work on his game. And it seems like what he was in at Preston has really impressed them because they have now taken him back on loan. I think that's a good move for Preston. I think it's a good move for him because I feel like he's still not ready yet for first team football at Liverpool. I don't know if he ever will be. And I kind of feel like sometimes with these loans, it's more of a case of putting them in a shop window, even if you can't, you know, if you can't play them and you don't think they're good enough, but you feel like you could potentially offload them and get a decent fee. That's what you're going to do. You're going to send them out on loan. And I think that's what they've done here. But yeah, he's gone back there. He made 16 appearances in the Championship last season. He done very, very well for them. But I think since he's moved in 2019 from PEC's role, it hasn't really worked out for Sepp. If I'm being generally honest, people, I don't see Sepp van den Berg having a future at Liverpool. Next, I want to talk about Florian Neuhaus. Now, Florian, is it Neuhaus? Is it Neuhaus? Or I don't know how you pronounce it, but the guy's a baller. Now, he's at the Euros. We haven't really seen anything of him at all. But he's been heavily linked with Liverpool. And I think as days have gone by, we're seeing more and more news come out, especially from German press, that Liverpool are heavily interested in him. Now, I think even James Pierce, sorry, big up yourself, James Pierce. He's come out with a story, I think, just today about how Florian fits the bill in terms of what Liverpool need from a midfielder. Now, in my opinion, he's very different from Wijnaldum. He's more of a creative player. He's got more guile to him. So Gini and Adam, they are different. But if we're talking about bringing something different to the midfield, I think Florian does. Do I think there's other players that we could get that are better than him? Yeah, obviously. I wanted Rodrigo de Paul. That didn't happen because he's going to Atletico. But you get where I'm coming from. There are other players. But me, I think if we was to get Florian and, the reported fee is to believed to be about 34 million, then you can't really complain. I think he's talented. I think he will bring something different. And here's the thing, people. We talk about Gini and Adam leaving. And, if you want to you try and get a Basuma. But I think there's been many a times last season where we were complaining about how midfielders, too many of the players are exactly the same. So do we need a Florian? Someone a bit different, someone a bit crafty, someone to just unlock that defense. I think he could potentially do it. Also can navigate if he can stay fit. But, it's never here or there. But you get where I'm coming from. I think Florian, for me, people, could be a big signing if he's to get this done. But again, you know what Liverpool are like? They'll put the feelers out there. They'll look at the deal. They'll analyze it. And they'll probably walk away from it. No, I'm joking. But they'll analyze it and see what's best for us. I personally don't think we'll see any movement from midfielder until after the Euros. I think Liverpool are going to wait and assess all their options and see what's the best value for money out there. But I do think we are in for a midfielder, whether it's Florian or not. I'm not buying the whole we're not in for a midfielder because, dare I say it, last season, a lot of journalists were saying Liverpool are not getting Thiago unless the midfielder leaves. Nobody left. We still got Thiago. Now, I'm not trying to say all the journalists were saying that on purpose as a smokescreen or whatever, however you want to call it, to keep things quiet. But I just think it makes sense, people. And I think you lot agree in it. We lose a midfielder, you go and get one to replace him. You don't just ignore it. Do you know what I'm saying? I know we've got players in our ranks like Curtis Jones that could potentially step up. And you've got people like Naby Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain, but they are not fit. They can't be called upon. Gini Wijnaldum, if I'm not mistaken, people, had the most appearances for us, especially from midfield. So you're going to have to think Liverpool are going to go back into the market and buy a midfielder who can actually play some games. That's a start. So I think there's something in for Neuhaus. I do think Liverpool are in for him, but I think it's a case of we're just going to have to wait and see. And I think that's the frustrating thing with Liverpool, because with the Euros at the moment, there's not really a lot of movement. So me personally, I think we'll get a midfielder. I just don't know whether it's going to be him, but we have to wait and see. And last but not least as well, I want to talk about Andy Robertson, because it's come out that Billy Gilmore has contracted COVID-19. He's tested positive for COVID-19. And it's a thing where I think Robbo, obviously, and the rest of the Scotland players I don't know what's going to happen there, but may have to self-isolate. I don't know. We'll have to watch his space. But Billy Gilmore is definitely out of their next game in their final group game. And I think Robbo potentially, could miss that game as well. So we have to wait and see. But obviously, Billy Gilmore hopefully recovers well and a speedy recovery for him, because I think he's gone into self-isolation as you'd expect. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Robbo and the rest of the Wales team. But there you go, people. It's your boy Malak Matt. It's that news time, summer daily news. I am back, people. Smash that like if you haven't already, people, as well. Come on now. We're doing bits. You see us all the time. And we will be live again tonight for the Monday night show. That will be, if I'm not mistaken, at 7 p.m. And on top of that as well, there's something else I wanted to mention. Yeah, you could be getting a little special guest this week. So, you know what I'm saying, people? Your boy Malak Matt was working behind the scenes, and so are Kopish. We move, people. And I'll see you again tonight. Peace.